Okay, backstage at Patchogue Theater with the one and only Anna Maria Alberghitti.
You pronounced that so perfectly.
I really said it good, huh?
Yeah.
From a kid that was born in Brooklyn, New York, you know?
I know.
When you were born in Italy, what
Yes.
part of Italy?
I come from the middle north. If you look at the boot of Italy, where I come from, parallel to Florence, but on the Adriatic coast, a town called Pesaro, Pesaro, and it's where the famous composer Rossini was born. Pavarotti had a summer home there his entire life, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And I go there often.
Now, Anna Maria, your career spans, you were in everything. From, of course, recording and movies and television.
Concerts.
How did it all get started? Where did you, your education, where was it?
My father was an opera singer, and he felt his voice had been damaged by his teacher. So he promised himself that if he would have children, they would become singers and he would be their only teacher. He started training me when I was 2.5. I gave my first concert when I was 6 with a 100-piece orchestra. I started touring first Italy, then most of Europe. And when I was 13 years old, I made my debut in the United States in New York City at Carnegie Hall.
That was when you were 13.
13. Following that debut, Ed Sullivan, we all remember Ed Sullivan, introduced me throughout the country, on his show. And subsequently, I was on Ed's show about 50 times. But that very first appearance made me in this country, because you remember in the 50s, the whole world on Sunday night watched the Ed Sullivan show, you know. And then the director, Frank Capra, saw me on the Ed Sullivan show. He was preparing a movie with Bing Crosby called Here Comes the Groom. He wrote a part for me in that movie, and that's how I went to Hollywood.
And what part did you do in the movie?
I played the role of a blind girl, an orphan. Bing was the head of the orphanage, and nobody wanted to adopt me because I was blind. And then a big conductor from the United States came. This took place in France, someplace, and he loved classical music. He heard I sang Caro Nome from Rigoletto, the opera, the aria, and from then I made other movies. I made a movie with Sterling Hayden called The Last Command. Then I was in 10,000 Bedrooms with Dean Martin.
That'd be fun, right?
The movie that is.
But was it fun?
It was.
It had to be a fun movie, right, with Dean Martin?
I loved Dean.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was so laid back that you never knew if it was a rehearsal or take. You know, he was a lovely man. And then I made Cinderella with Jerry Lewis, which has become a classic.
Yes.
You know?
And you played Princess.
The Princess.
Yeah.
The Princess.
You had a big part in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big part.
Yeah. I was.
Well, you were studying music with your dad. When did the acting lessons come in?
You know, I'm going to let you in on something. You know, I won the Tony Award on Broadway for Carnival. The acting came in the same way that it came in for Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand was a singer. She became a great actress.
Without acting lessons?
I went to acting lessons after I won the Tony Award.
Really? Danny Aiello told me the same thing. Never took acting lessons. That's amazing.
But I did afterwards. After I won. I didn't want to take them before because, you know, I knew that role in the core of my heart, and I didn't want to have any teachers sort of color my performance, which had already become a huge hit. And after that, I did study.
How many movies did you make?
About 8 or 9 in all. And the
movies.
last few years, I made 2 comedies called The Whole Shebang and Friends and Family. And I'm still going.
Yeah, and who was in The Whole Shebang?
The Whole Shebang was Stanley Tucci and Bridget Fonda.
Now, what do you like better? You like singing better or you like acting better?
You know what? It's so different. I love acting and I love making movies. I love it. But there is nothing like a live audience.
And your operatic voice is beyond belief.
Well, you know, I've taken good care of it.
Yes.
You know, my father taught me well.
You know, most of the time we always see these robust people that have the, they
I
have
know,
that big, and they got the big operatic voice, and you are very, very petite.
Thank you.
And you have that gigantic voice. Through your whole career, it spans a long time. You said movies and television. Do any commercials?
I did the Good Season salad dressing mix for, 14 years.
14 years.
Delizioso. I used to come on every night, every day.
No wonder you're so
I was a
tremendous
house.
at salad.
That's right. That's right.
You made a pasta commercial. Forget about it.
That's right.
14 years of eating
That's
pasta.
right.
Like
That's right. No, I should make a commercial for pasta because I eat pasta every day.
Yeah.
Practically.
But you must exercise.
Yes.
I know you exercise.
And
You have to go to the gym. Or work out.
portion control.
Yes.
It's portion control, you know.
Problem with me is I take back big portions.
Yeah, but you know what? You enjoy it, right?
We enjoy it,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
all that matters.
Out of all everything in the entertainment business, Dean Martin and all the Hollywood stars and travel around the world, what sticks out as the epitome of your career?
Two things. My Carnegie Hall debut, of course, winning the Tony Award, and having two of the most gorgeous grandchildren in my life. Those are my Oscars.
Yeah. Everybody talks about their grandchildren. That's the key.
Let me tell you something. That's what it's about, you know. I like to say one thing. I was very fortunate to win the Tony Award for Best Actress on Broadway, but my grandchildren are my Oscar.
Isn't that nice?
Well, it's true. They are the light of my life.
Now, let me ask you this. You know, a lot of us, we all get married. We stay married for a long, long time. But I always hear about these crushes that somebody has maybe during the course of their span of time. Did you ever have a crush on somebody? I mean, through the movies?
Sure. I had a big crush on Dean when I made 10,000
Dean.
Bedroom.
Yeah.
Dean Martin, and he was married, and he was trying to fool around. And I said, no, go back to Jeannie.
Yeah. Huh?
Yes, of
But
course.
Dean had that certain way about him. When he sang, he talked away. He was a fun guy.
I loved him. I loved him. He was a sweet man.
Did you meet Frank Sinatra?
Yes, many times. I was in his home. As a matter of fact, the last time I was in his house, the minute I walked into the door, he took me to the kitchen because he was making his mom's pasta sauce, and he wanted to make sure that I would taste it to get my approval. I said, doesn't need one thing. It's perfect. He was very nice.
When you listen to music today, I mean, what are some of the stars that you really love to hear them sing? Or recordings of the past? What do you
Well, you know, I go from classical to, of course, I loved Renata Tebaldi, I loved Maria Callas, I loved Pavarotti,
Yeah.
adored him. The Beatles.
The Beatles?
Oh, absolutely. And Streisand. I think Streisand has
best.
an incredible instrument, and her interpretations is magnificent.
And here we go, long shot now. Elvis Presley, what'd you think?
You know what? I never connected with Elvis Presley.
Different kind of music.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because when I came to this country and Elvis was famous, I was classically trained, and therefore, at that time, it was a foreign sort of sound for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I thought he was wonderful, you know, and he revolutionized the world with his singing. He was responsible for, I mean, he also impressed the Beatles, you know.
And Chuck Berry and all those singers.
All of them.
That was the
all of
history
them.
of that music.
Absolutely.
Now, as I look at you, and I really don't know this, but I'm taking a guess, you love pets.
Yes,
See?
but I don't own one.
You don't own one.
You know why?
Why?
Because
'Cause
I'm
you
always
travel.
traveling, and I don't think it's fair.
But if you did have a pet, you'd have what? A little dog?
Yes.
See, how did I know that?
I don't know,
I
but
could
you're
tell.
right.
I
Our
could tell.
little dogs are so cute, and they're such good company,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I want to thank you very much for giving us some time.
it's
Great,
been a pleasure.
great night tonight here at Patchogue Theater. People are going to love you because you're an amazing talent. And I think during the act, I believe that you'll probably tell some of them of a lot of the things that you have done, because we find out that the audiences sometimes don't know enough about the artist, or we tend to forget what has happened in the past. And
I
you
talk
have,
about it.
And
I
you
talk
will talk
about
about
it.
it.
Yep,
And it's a
I will.
tremendous.
I will.
Lots
I
of
will.
great success. going
Thank you
forward.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a good interview. He's a very good